Hi, this is Jacqueline here with the Grow program. Thank you for growing with me on today. Um, as I'm moved by the Spirit of God to record the episodes, when it's time to rise up, it's time to make a move, it's time to start growing for God. I like to go in a quiet place. Some people have, praying closets that they go in. You go in there and you meditate and you sit there and you meditate on the Lord. And that's where I was a minute ago. I record in there a lot of times. I record a lot of different places. My favorite place to record is outside in the beauty of God, out there, away from the spiritual warfare. Because I would rather watch trees blowing in the wind than to listen to somebody's gossip. Because God got some gossip that you need to hear. God is moving. The word is love. The word ain't what you heard. The word is love. So, on today, as I'm growing, I didn't feel like kicking it in the closet. So, I came out and it just made me think about Mike. I didn't feel like kicking it in the closet today. So I came out the closet to record out here in the lighthouse, growing for a better way. That's right. I came out the closet, to stand out here and grow in God for a better way, to tell you that God is love. Who are you to judge? We are not the judge. We aren't. We are not the judge. Just go ahead and love. See, it's enough hate to go. It's enough hate in the world. It's plenty of that. We don't need no more of that. It's hate everywhere. Hate all up and down in families, all up in the family tree. Then rotted the family tree out. It starts with a festering there. It's a sore there. There goes some spiritual warfare. Somebody coming in to take it out on the family there. It can start from within the family. Weeds and stuff go all around beautiful flowers. Where God got a beautiful garden growing there. Weeds grow up there too. So we got to sow love. We got to sow love. You got to overlook certain things. You can't just pick a fight about everything and think you gonna win. How long is that gonna last? It ain't gonna last forever. It'll last for a little while, but it ain't gonna last forever. And then the bottom gonna fall out. See, because what you got to do, you can't go in it like, well, I'm going to go in 50-50. I'm gonna put mine in, see what they put in. If you going to go in, go in. You just like you jump in the water, just get in. Just jump it. You just got to get. I know the water cold. You don't know you getting in. I don't know if I even want to be in here. I don't know. I got to see. You just ease your way on in, down in the relationship, just like in the water. Get wade in the water. That's what you got to do. You got to wade in it. You got to love. To make them waves soft. Nice soft waves that's coming up on you. Don't you like some nice soft waves? You don't want no hard crashing wave. You don't want nobody jumping there and get the splash. You trying to get used to the water. You don't want nobody making no waves. So you make some soft waves. Because you don't want nobody jumping in there and making off no crazy waves. Throwing stuff all kind of ways, throwing stuff crazy. You don't want none of that. So just make some gentle waves as you ease on in the water. You there in the relationship. Y'all eat. But you got to sow love. You got to sow love because what you sow, you shall reap. That goes for your relationships, your children, your job, wherever you happen to be growing. Wherever you grow, take love with you. Grow with love. Let go of that old stuff. Let go of them grudges. See, what you got to do, you got to learn how to love them from a distance. See, because that's one thing Brian Hunt taught me how to do was to leave people alone. My own husband told me stay in my lane. You don't need to come over and see what I'm doing with these women. Stay over here in your lane. Just stay in your lane. See, you in the righteous lane, you growing. You doing something over here. But you over here doing something. What's going on? Why I see this picture of this pop up here? What are you doing over here? See, if you hadn't been looking at my phone, you wouldn't have seen that. Oh, that's how okay. But you see anything, a picture, a classmate, my phone, you blow all up at me. See, that's what a narcissist do, and so he taught me how to leave people alone, and that's what you got to do. You got to learn how to love them from a distance, because that'll never be again, ever. I just pray over him. I pray that he begin one day to grow, that he begin to change his ways. And that's what I'm here to do. Change hearts and minds to grow. Help people come up for the breakthrough. We're going to come up. We ain't going to come up on top of one another. We're going to come up with one another. We're going to link up and rise up together with one another the way God has it planned. See, just like the rose out there. The flower out there in the field. It could be roses, but let's look at the flowers out there in the field, and you see a beautiful flower. There ain't just one flower out there. It's a bunch of them, blooming. One flower don't go over and somehow attack them some birds, you hear. But one flower don't go over there and just start attacking the other flower. Y'all don't want you up. I don't want you up either. I'm going to be the only flower. They don't attack one because that ain't the way God got it planned. So, see, that ain't the way God got it planned for us. Brothers and sisters, kings and queens, keepers of the dream. That's what God had. We are all legends. It's only one you, and it's only one you. Why you going to destroy him? That's not going to help you. What you're going to do is destroy you. Because if they don't catch up with you on the earth, it's some other judges that you got to go face. For that life that you took, there's another life, yours. Because that was the finish of your faith. That's what you believe. You believe your brother's life is ended like that. His spirit, he's gone from here. So then there go you, God is the author. God is the finisher of our faith. The author too. But he ain't the author of confusion and mess. Put God here, but not over here. Put God here, but not there. Now do this. They did this, but see, they did that. They drank a lot. They drank wine. Just keep on bottle after bottle. They drank wine. Well, that may be so, but you be of a sober mind. So you can watch and pray. So you know what's going on. See, because under the influence, you start thinking another way. You start thinking different ways. See, but they didn't drink to get drunk. They came together, however way they come together. See, but I choose not to drink. I don't want to be under that. Influence. I don't want to be of that. I've been of that. I know what it's about being that. You speak to a former alcoholic. Used to go in a liquor store and I ain't have to say nothing. He just go to the shelf, get what I want. I ain't like that. So I started going to another store. Pretty soon he started doing it. So I'm like, something wrong. What's going on? Something the matter here. And it was me. I needed to change. I need to change my way, because no way should I walk in there and they just go straight to the shelf in front of everybody and just get what I want. I don't say nothing. I don't even get to open my mouth. Everybody else asks for what they, it happened to me, a couple times. So, I had to look at me. See, it come a certain time we got to look at us. Okay, now what do I need to do? Change starts within. That's how you change things around you. That's how you head on to the breakthrough. You got to look at you. Well, what can I do? See, because can't nobody else tell you. Because you ain't going to listen. They'll know, but can't nobody tell you, So look, you got to look at you. See, I can look at your face, but you. God knows your heart. God knows your heart. God knows everything about you. God knows the beautiful plans that God has for you. Man can speak this and speak that over you all day long, but God knows, So keep on growing on, keep on holding on, hold on strong to God, because God already knows. They could say, well, you ain't going to do this and you ain't going to do that because you ain't got this and you ain't got that and you ain't going to have that. But see, why they saying all this and that, God already gave you life. And you are the author of your destiny and the finisher of it. You the one that can make it do what it do. But you got to believe in you. You believe in the others. As you believing in the others, make sure you put you in with the others. So you can believe in you. Count on you with the others. Well, so we gonna count on all of us. I'm gonna count on them. But if they don't come through, I know I got to count on me. I'm part of the others. So put you in with the others as you grow. Here it is. Now I'm in the other room with the door closed. They out there singing their melody. They started at 7 o'clock and then they stopped at 7:02, as if on cue, because I get Bo up at 7 o'clock to get ready for the school bus. And I mean, they sung their song. I sat there and listened to them. They sung it for 2 minutes. And then they stopped. And now they at it again. But I love the sound of the birds. Don't bother me. Because I be outside listening to them. I'd rather hear them singing and chirping. But see, the one thing they do, they may bicker and go back and forth. But they all fly off together, don't they? Birds of a feather flock together. They fly off. They flock in love. And that's what we have to do. We need to flock in love. And I'm so grateful and thankful for the beautiful time that I had yesterday with the children's father. He's on his way back to California, and I just want to say a word of prayer over him, and that he have a safe flight, safe trip back, safe travels, and God watch over and protect him. We had a beautiful time spending time, with the children. They hadn't seen us. I hadn't seen him since my son graduated college in 2017. It was the last time I was in California. So I just want to, pray God's traveling mercies, grace, love, blessings over him, his wife, family, as they grow. And may we continue to all come together in love as we see one another as a great big family reunion, to let go of all the past, the grudges, the different things, bickering back and forth, this, that, and the other. Because, see, you can keep on with that stuff, but words are going to get you. See how you can come together for the benefit, to take a picture, to come together for family and be together and be happy, be joyful, carry on the legacies of the ancestors. That's what they want. That's what they push for. They push for love. They were here to teach us, give us some words of wisdom. Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Pray to God and let it be. Because it's going to be according to the will of God anyway. So pray and let it be, honey, and pray and hope for the best, because God is our hope. Pray and hope for the best, but prepare for the worst, because it's all in the plan of God. And that's why I have to put my faith and trust, honey, because I'm going to tell you something. Some days, trouble will be in my way, and I had to cry sometimes. I have to cry sometimes. Trouble in my way. Well, honey, what I do know, God is moving. God is moving as the rain is falling. So I go ahead with the rain. Take the sod I got from God. I grow and sow each and every day, putting my faith and trust in the Lord, praying that he would keep mine. Because either way, God got the whole world anyway. God got us all, honey. Some of us just don't know it, because we just so busy going to and fro. Got to get this, got to have mine, got to chase mine, got to wear mine it, got the track on mine. I know I'm going to run mine. I got mine, me and mine, But see, we got to have God first. Because see, nothing else matters. Before God, you got to have God first. God showed me that. Because see, I was praying. One day I prayed to God. I called out to God on one of the coldest days of my life. It was the coldest day of my life. It actually was. I cried out to God. God, why? Why me? I don't do nothing to nobody. I live for my children. And God spoke to me and said just as big and bold, you live for me. And I heard it. And immediately my tears dried up. I wiped them away, and I realized what God was telling me. I'm going through a journey. We growing through together. You ain't alone. We growing through together. Because my babies wasn't around me then. It was a night that I spent in the federal prison when just night after night, to realize that you there, you locked down, you in there under somebody else's control. This was the first time this had ever happened to me, like this, to be away from my babies. I got little minor scrapes before, a little minor scrape before, but not this right here, it was as it is. It's a life-altering experience, and you are condemned for life for it. You're condemned for life. You're marked for life. So I hope that I can reach somebody to stop them from going down that path, to prevent them from entering into the school of hard knocks and graduating with a PhD like I did. Because God is carrying you through. But honey, if you're going to go ahead and do you, honey, you're going to go through. You are going to go through unless you let go and let God do you. Let God carry you through. Because, honey, I'm telling you, it's a hard knock life without God. It really is. It's hard enough with God, because into each life some rain must fall. Into each life. It's going to rain on the just and the unjust. It don't matter that you're doing right. Why they ain't never done nothing to nobody? Why this happened to them? They ain't never did nothing. They this and they that. And that's why they this and they that. That's why they this and they that, because we going to carry the legacy on from that. As the siren sounds and they surround us, because of the oppression that's going on, we going to carry the legacies on. We going to carry the legacies forward. What were they here for? What did they teach us? A little baby going through. Look at his mama's eyes with love. Grab her and hold on to her. Look in the camera. She recording him. Just eyes full of love. That's what he here for. That's what he was here for. And God bless his little soul. He with the Lord. He didn't make it. But he was here to teach us love, because he sure taught me love. I fell right in love with him. And I'm going to carry on the legacy of love for him. Because as he held on to his mother and held on to her thumb, with his little hand, looking in her eyes and looking at the camera, that's all I saw was love and hope. Just love. Just love there. Because a child is God's ray of hope for tomorrow. So we got to take care of tomorrow today. We got to grow in God for a better way. We are the role models. We are. It's nice to have nice things. God wants us to have nice things. Sure, God wants us to have that. But this life is not about getting that. Because, see, as you know, when you leave, it stays. It doesn't go. So, as we are here, let's use our life, our gift to lift all those around us and make a better way for everyone around us as we are down here going through all this stuff, all this oppression, evil and hate just everywhere. Everywhere you look, there it is. There go evil, hate, oppression, depression, anxiety, all this other different stuff, sickness, just you name it. It's everywhere. But there is God. There is God. And God is a powerful force that's moving over this earth. God is within you. Allow the light that is within you to light up, to shine out and light up the world. Allow the light that is within you to shine and light up the world. You thought I was going to mess it up again. But allow that light to light up the world, kings and queens. Come on, you are the beacon of light. You are the lighthouse. Light it up. Light it up with love. Let them see you smiling when you're coming. See, you got to take the mask off now. Let them see you smiling. For those of you who still wear the mask, let them see you smiling in your eyes. You see, because people can see that you're smiling in your eye. They can tell. So, because ain't it funny how the way you feel shows on your face? Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. We're going to grow. We're going to sow. We're going to rise. We're going to live. We're going to touch. And we're going to reach on to the promised land. On the love, peace, and soul train till genuine equality and righteousness shall flow like a mighty stream. God bless you, kings and queens. God bless you each and every day as you grow. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom.